Welcome back to Hoop Jeans. I'm Tony Cheddar with Matt Horner, and today we've got another guest for you.
We're delighted to have Ishmael Fontaine in the studio.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're more than welcome.
No, big up yourselves.
I wanted that clapping so much as well, though.
Oh, big up yourselves, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I walked in here, I'm so like happy to see the branding, everything. Like, I'm so happy. We've got producers, we've got co-hosts.
It's the real deal.
Do you know what I mean? I love
deal.
it, bro. I'm fully supportive of this. I'm
All
subscribed.
on your
Make sure,
doorstep.
where am I looking? Make sure
There.
you subscribe ASAP because this is what we need, man. This is what we need. I watch Hoops Fix as a podcast.
Okay.
And I feel like we got a couple out here.
Yeah.
We got a couple podcasts out here, but
Yeah, he works really hard.
Yeah,
I want more. Do you know what I mean?
Just want to build the game up,
it
don't
can
we?
only help.
Get everything shared about.
Yeah, you know what? He's a bad man. I love the guy, bro. Sam Nita. That's my dog.
I think he's local as well, isn't he?
He's from Eastbourne, I believe.
Yeah, other side
And he
of Sussex.
just sorted like Brighton Beach courts. I just went over there. I was dunking on a few cats over there. People couldn't believe it. People couldn't believe it. I got people texting me, Unc, you can dunk, Unc. Like, yeah, bro. Back in the day, I had bounce. So it's crazy. Nah. But Sam, man, thank you for that. Thank you for everything you're doing for
Have
basketball.
they just redone the courts down there?
Yeah, I think they still got more to go. I think they're going to paint it.
Okay.
Oh, really? Do you reckon they'll
Yeah.
keep it standard, or do you reckon they'll go something mad
I
with
think
it?
they're going to go mad with it.
Is it?
It's Brighton.
Yeah, that's true. You got
You
to
know what I
represent,
mean?
innit?
You go over there, it's 22 degrees in August, there's going to be like someone on stilts playing basketball. I'm telling you.
100%.
But I played one-on-one with like a giant chicken for a stag do or something. I was cooking him, bro. Like, because I'm not Peter Griffin, bro.
Yeah,
you think I am Peter Griffin? You're going to run around in a giant chicken suit and I'm going to, no. I said, check up, bet. Nah, all jumpers too.
So you just finished your 16th season as a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Mate,
That's
thank
quite
you.
an achievement.
Nah, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How are you feeling for it? Obviously, 16 in is quite a good number, isn't it?
When I heard 10,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, vet status. When I heard 16, I was like, oh, that's a bit mad. Hey, how's my knees? And I've started like doing this to see if my shoulders are creaking, if my knees are creaking. I'm like, all right.
Start doing the checks when you get up in the morning. You're like, what? Nah, what's going on?
But when you actually deep it and you sit down, like, the amount of, I'm going to say this now, the amount of damage you can do to your body in 16 seasons, you've got to go to the gym. I think the gym, sorry, I moved this. I think the gym saved my career, honest. Because I jump a lot, my jump shot's I jump up high on my jump shot. Like, I've never had super serious injuries like some of my guys.
Touch wood.
Like, touch wood, man. You know, but 16 years in, like, there's a lot to unpack with it.
How do you feel physically? Do you feel any different to 10 years ago?
I try to tell myself I feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it's like I wake up feeling like I played 4 hours of basketball. That's the best way I can explain it. Like, I remember when I was a junior, I hated stretching and warming up.
Yeah.
My warm-ups were dunks, you know? And now I'm a bit older, I gotta have a nice little beach walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I gotta have my little cross on. I wouldn't eat before a game, and if I didn't want to eat. I didn't want anything to make me heavier. Now, like, if you get that earlier in your career,
Yeah.
you know, if I don't know if anything would have changed like physically for me, but you know, I just would like to experience myself in that way.
Yeah, of course.
But you're moving so fast, you know, in your career. That's the thing as well. Got to slow down and enjoy it.
Especially imagining like the earlier years as well, where you're hyped, aren't you? Because you're thinking about playing, you're thinking about training. You're not really thinking about, well, I need to warm this down, I need to feed the engine kind of thing. You think it's going to go on forever.
Yeah, and your early years are a wake up call. Your rookie year, my rookie year in Milton Keynes, dude. I know a lot of people must feel the same when they play basketball, but like, I was at the top of my game when I was under 18. I was dunking on people twice my size. I had just come back from America. I played against players that are retired now.
Yeah.
But they were lottery picks, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, sir, like, I'm gonna go play in the BBL. Because I only had junior college offers when I went to America.
Okay.
And I just saw junior college as this. I listened to a guy talk about it, and I thought, that's just not for me. And it's not that I wasn't resilient. It's just that I didn't want to lose 2 years of my life trying to become a professional basketball player when I could have already become a professional basketball player.
Yeah, of course.
So like, I went to Vegas and I got dumb. I played in the wrong tournament in my opinion. Like, they put you in this tournament with all these guys that have got... Because Billy Donovan was at one of my games.
Okay.
Why? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But he was looking at one dude who ended up playing in the D-League. I'm old, guys.
D-League at the time.
D-League, right?
Yeah.
That's when the ball was a different colour.
Yeah,
you know, the ball had the D-League, like Swish Parker, Swish Parker's kind of times. There was a guy called Pierre, I want to say his name, I can't remember. I was talking, maybe his name was Pierre Jackson, and he ended up having like 60, 70, 60 points in the D-League. So they were watching him.
Yeah.
And I thought I had bounce, dude. This dude took off in the,
really?
the warm-up line, and you're not allowed to dunk the ball in America. I don't know if it's the same now.
Right.
But when I was playing, you wasn't allowed to dunk the ball in the warm-ups.
Okay.
It's a tech.
Yeah. Technical foul, yeah.
You know? So I used to watch Derrick Rose dunk. So I used to do all his stuff. This guy was throwing it in the rim. It was disgusting.
Really?
So I wanted, you know, that's why he was there.
Yeah.
But I played against Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
And you know how he's a flat out jump shooter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Still going?
Dude. This dude, like, he was spraying us. Like, that was when I saw specialists. I didn't understand what that was. I know it's better now because you've got YouTube and you've got podcasts, so big up yourselves. But specialists, like Tim Hardaway Jr. flat out shot the ball only. He didn't go to the rim. Unless it was a fast break dunk, he didn't go to the rim. Like, and his dad was already, like, his dad was at the game. I shook his hand. And it was like, his dad was already priming him to be a specialist.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I didn't take away from America until I seen him playing in the NBA.
Okay.
He guards, he shoots the ball, because he had everything.
Yeah.
He just needed to get beefier. He was really skinny in high school.
Because his dad was just like an old-fashioned point guard, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't a great shooter. He was little, relatively small.
Yeah, like top head. Like,
killer crossover.
Killer
He was
crossover,
one of
kind
the
of.
first guys to really perfect that.
Yeah.
Played Golden State a long, long time.
Yeah.
But his son has obviously got a bit more height and just can shoot.
Some was 6'4", you know, probably 6'5" now. 40-inch vertical jump. Shoot the skin off it. Dude.
Jeez.
And you're playing against him after you've just been in the park in Hendon, in Northwest London, playing basketball. But you know, like, there's a point in your life where you feel like, I can do this. Like, this is not a joke. Like, I can do this. And I put enough work in to compete with them. And that's what I did. Yeah. So I never came home feeling disheartened that I only got JUCO offers. And in hindsight, I got a Division 2 offer and an NAIA offer in Rio Grande. I had a Division 1. I spoke to the athletic director or athletic something of Wright State in Ohio because I was supposed to go to high school in Ohio. Yeah. But that was my first time really taking this basketball seriously and really showing my resilience, because a lot of people that didn't get to do that stuff, they stopped playing and they were quality, you know?
So who organised you going out to play?
I mean, dude, I emailed everybody.
Were you affiliated with any club then?
No clubs. That's the other thing. Back in the day, I don't even want to do on no clubs because I love you lot, man. I love you all. But a lot of clubs are using that as a carrot. Right. Like, if you come here, we're going to send you to America. Not, are you good enough to go? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of man went to America because they had bread. A lot of man went to America because it was like feasible for them to go. Yeah. Right. And then they came home after their scholarship money ran out or their financial whatever happened ran out, and they didn't have no transferable skills in the professional game. Yeah. So I always had that. I knew I was athletic enough, and coachable enough to play professional basketball, and I knew I was coachable enough to play at college level. But as a if I went to college when I needed to go to college, I would not have played my first 2 years. Right. There's no way. I never ran shell drill. Right. Okay. And shell drill is like the most normal thing that until I became a professional. That's why I was so glad that I became a professional when I came, because I needed to get thrown into the fire. Right. You know? And like, my rookie year was tough, bro. But I loved them guys. Like,
so the AAU experience, that really helped focus your mind on what you needed to do and how good people can be. Yeah. And even though you didn't achieve quite what you wanted to, you came back knowing that you could belong in that professional
100%. 100%. Like, I hope I wasn't super delusional, but I was a bit delusional for sure. But like, guarding people, I had no issue.
Right.
I've never had an issue, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
Like, I've never, like, that's one thing that there's been a couple people that have got the better of me, but I've always been lucky enough to be put in a situation where the guy was a stone cold killer. So if I had to practice against Zaire Taylor all week, who I'm telling you, dude, I got some stories about him. Like, you're going to be all right to play this weekend against whoever you're guarding, especially if you've got tape on him.
Yeah.
Like, and I had that. When I lived in Milton Keynes, we practiced every day.
Okay.
And I was practicing against a dude who practically should have been the MVP of the league. He was that good. Like, he was the leading scorer in the league. He's all-time leader in steals for a season.
Right.
So imagine you're bringing the ball up against him and trying to stop him. He's 2 inches
Who's
taller
that?
than me. His name was Demarius Bolds.
Okay.
He still plays now. I call him and say, listen, like, go home. But he's like, nah, I want to play. His daughter plays in college now, and he's still playing professional.
No way.
Basketball. Yeah. And his daughter's like his length and everything. She blocks shots. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I played. I had like it was either him or Chris Clark. He played with. He was one of the all-time leading assist guys at Utah State.
Okay.
Like, I'm practicing against these dudes, trying to limit him. With a coach, Mike New Senior, who I love to death.
Yeah.
I love that man to death. And Nigel Lloyd and Vince Macauley, Uncle Vince, who were on you 24/7. And it could get to you. Like, you had to be resilient.
But they had a standard, though.
They had a standard.
And they wanted you to raise to it.
And
this, the way you're talking about it now, obviously you enjoyed that challenge. Like, you had that back between your teeth and just wanted it.
I hated it, bro.
But looking back now,
I would slap the back of my head. I would come through, you know, I don't know. I would get on in the Navigator, Flight of the Navigator. You must have seen Flight of the Navigator. What?
No.
Hey, Flight of the Navigator.
Sorry.
It's a movie from like the 80s where this kid gets into a spaceship, but he doesn't know it's a time machine. I'm getting in that time machine. I'm coming through the thing. Stop complaining, listen, and I'm flying back. You know what I'm saying? But my life, like, I'll get in the DeLorean. That's the easier one. Jump in there.
Everyone knows.
Get on the dual carriageway. Bing, come out. Bing, get back in, bro. And all the Kobe's as well. If I could go back in time, all the Kobe's I bought for £45 in Sports Direct, I would have saved.
Never put them on.
Have you seen the price of Kobe Bryant shoes now?
oh, different, isn't it?
Mate.
It's different.
I see them selling on TikTok for £45. Sometimes I'm like, I couldn't do that to Kobe though. Big up the Mamba, dog. That's my guy.
So you weren't enjoying it, but you stuck with it.
Nah, because I love basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's tough for anybody to try their hardest and fail. I think it's tough for anybody who came from a situation where they were scoring whenever they felt like it, guarding the best player on the team, having all the stats, whatever, and playing on a good team and playing against good teams and winning games, but being an integral part in the fourth quarters, the game plan, all that stuff. It's tough to be a 19-year-old guy, but you understand it, bro. The point guard on our team, E.J. Harrison, played at Connecticut with Rip Hamilton. So I'm like, you played with an NBA champion. And then you got Mike New, who is just, he's a 6'9" big man, who's just a man. The only reason he wasn't in the NBA, in my opinion, was because he was 6'9" in a time when everyone should have been, they wanted everyone to be 7 foot. You know? And then you had Robert Youngblood, you know, baller. And then you had Dawood Morris, love you, bro. He's a coach in a university in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And he does all this stuff, stopping violence in his communities. You had these like incredible people that are way older than you, have 4 years of college. So this is my college experience right now.
Of course.
I'm a freshman in college if I'm not a professional basketball player. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know?
So it sounds, even though it's a super testing environment for you, that possibly the best place you could have been to develop your mindset and your skills.
Everything.
And what was it like interacting with the older heads? Like, were they giving you shit? Were they coming back at you?
Yorick Williams. I'm going to tell this. I love that guy to death.
I remember seeing him at Bears. It was so close.
But before Bears, when he had he used to wear war paint, bro.
Yeah. What did he, like the NFL players? Like
he used to wear war paint. This guy from Moss Side, Manchester, used to wear war paint. This guy, like, you know what I mean? And
he's coming to make a statement.
Kidder. That's what he used to say. Kidder. Love him to death, bro. Yorick, made me take my first like cold shower in David Lloyd. You had to take the cold shower and you had to punch the water for like, these men were doing it for 2 seconds. They put us in there for 30 seconds. Me and my brother Craig Pringle, love you, bro. We're like, crying because it was freezing.
Yeah.
And then I played on a team with one of them professional dunkers. He could jump, like he jumped over me. He was one of the first person to ever jump over me and put it through the legs and dunk it. So I went to that dunk contest for no reason. Shouldn't even get dressed. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, you're like, I ain't doing that, bro. I should have just come out as an assistant for him.
Yeah, just
and then next year, won it. I was the idiot. I wanted the experience. That was so dumb. Like, when he did that, I couldn't make a dunk.
Oh, really?
I couldn't, because why are you jumping over me, bro? I'm putting it through your legs.
It's a bit of a vial, to be fair, but I'm just not going to lie.
He wanted, actually, we played in a shopping centre, so like one of my hazing was because of him, it was because of this guy.
Yeah.
Yorick kicked the balls out the shopping centre. We were practicing and the rookies had to get the balls. So like, and I'm like, I'm not getting hazed any more than carrying stuff and taking the balls, because as much as the American guys will do popcorn, I know we're on a budget. That's worse.
Yeah.
Whatever you do to me, I don't know if I can pay. Like if you shave my eyebrows on the bus while I'm sleeping on the way to Newcastle, what am I gonna do, bro? I'm old, right? Let's remember, 2009, they didn't have all this laser eyebrow thing that they're doing now. Like, what would I have done? So I was like, I'm gonna carry the balls, man. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not better than no one. This is my rookie experience. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I never had an attitude. That's one thing no one can say I had an attitude. Bro, this guy on my team, 2 more rookies, he never picks the balls up. But what they do is they don't want to tell him like directly, yo, you don't pick the balls up, because now it's us against them.
Yeah.
They made it, they psychologically made it like, we're going to make it worse for you, man, if you don't hold him accountable. So that man just started flipping the balls out of the thing. Yorick and Robert would flick it and Yorick would bang it out of the stadium. Bro, it was just like, all right, we're going to do this. Like, I'm running past Dixon's. That's how old I am. Google Dixon's. Yeah. I'm getting the ball. But I loved it, man. I loved that whole experience. That was one of the best basketball experiences of all time. And
when, like, obviously, because you're being hazed in and because obviously you're in your rookie year and stuff, when you needed it as well, like if you were playing the games, if you were getting more minutes, would they let you know you're doing good as well?
Oh man, that's the one thing that we take for granted until we get to like adulthood. People you see do this professional thing at a high level every day, every practice, and I'll say that again. Yorick, Michael, Vince, like EJ, Dawood, even like people like Chris Clark, Stephen. I played with some amazing basketball players, bro. Stephen Gill, Cameron Bernard, like Adrian Sturt, Demarius Spose. I played with the guys that did it every day. Like, I'm talking, they come to practice, and these when you're like, I'm 19. I had a kid when I was 19, but I'm young. Like, I still got my mum. I still got these men are flying across the world, and they got kids back home that they're paying for, and they come in, and sometimes they have bad days, but they're here. And seeing them outwork people and run hard, and like our practices were horrible, man. They were tough, especially on a Monday. Yeah, our Monday practices, boy, were like college, like running. You're running. Coaches trying to figure out a reason for you to run. Like there's 4 of you on the court. We're shooting to 10. You can't miss 2 in a row. Every time you miss 2 in a row, it's a sprint. All right, then. Or the Laker drill that was running anyway. If you didn't do it, you had to do it again. So Mondays were, but these guys were adults, man. 30s, you know what I mean? Living in a new place, having to manage finances the right way, and this. So when those guys say to you, Ishmael, that was a good job, because they will cuss you out. You play professional basketball, you're going to get cussed out.
Oh, of course.
You are going to get cussed out, and you want to get cussed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be the guy that they don't say nothing to.
Yeah.
Be the guy where they like, yo, what are you doing? That's wild. You want to be the guy where it's like, he's talking to me. And I need to see it. Like, in the heat of the battle, I need to figure this out. So, like, yeah, man, perfect. What was the question, bro? Because I was rambling.
No, it was just like, did they like give you compliments and stuff? Did they let you know you did a good job and stuff? And that's
my first dunk, bro. They were loved. They were really nice.
Do you remember it as well? Yeah. Do you remember exactly how the play?
I'm about to. Hey, my bad, innit? I never been in a studio before.
No, you're all right.
So I feel bad for saying this, and I wanted to shout you out anyway. So I dunked on Jamal Anderson, my first ever in-game dunk in the shopping centre. So This was our first game in the shopping centre. So we're playing in the Centre MK, Middleton Hall, 2009. We got changed in John Lewis. I swear.
Just casual as you like, just...
Bro, I know. We got changed in John Lewis, bro. But we had a little sheet and then we had to come out of the game. Yeah. The only problem with playing in the shopping centre is we had to come out of the shopping centre dead of night and walk over to the gym to shower. And the gym was far. How was long? You're in your shorts and stuff. You don't want to get changed into your stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But I wouldn't trade it, bro. So before we even get to the game, the newspaper's there. And then BBC and then the ITV News are there because we've got this guy, Guy, who I told you, killed me in a dunk contest. And there was this word around town that this rich guy wanted Guy to jump over his Rolls Royce. So I went there early because I had to see this whatever happens. This guy doesn't show up with the Rolls Royce. So we never get to see. I know he can jump over a Rolls Royce. Yeah. So we never get to see him jump over a Rolls Royce. But he jumps over this bike like it was nothing. Like it was ridiculous. He jumped over a motorbike. Then he jumped over the woman doing the interview. Just to add like, you know what I mean?
What, mid-broadcast or what?
Mid-broadcast. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube still to this day. And it's like, bro, this guy literally just jumped like, and then we had to play a game. Like, that's why I knew, when he said I'm going to the dunk contest, I said, I'm done. Like, I can't. He's doing that for his warm-up. This guy, people don't believe me. I seen him jump over a badminton net. People don't believe me.
What's that, like 6'3"?
I don't know what it is.
6'3", 6'4"? 6 foot, yeah.
But I say that to people, I'm like, he's jumped over a badminton net off 2 feet. And they're like, you're lying. Because he's a 1 foot jumper. Right. Like, no way. And I'm like, bro. And then I show him videos of him jumping over like 5 people. So you think he can't jump over a badminton net? Come on, man. I've seen him block the ball, like someone shot the ball and the ball's gone to the top of the square. I've seen him block it again, and catch it.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
And I don't like the geezer. No disrespect. I don't like him as a person. He's not a nice person. But like, like the best, like...
You can't argue it, can you?
One of the best, one of the most amazing things I've ever witnessed in my life. Yeah. Just this guy. And he broke both his legs in his youth.
Oh, wow.
So it made me want, like, no.
What do you have, bionic legs or something? Like,
bro,
put some springs in it.
My man is like from the Matrix. He missed the dunk. I'm telling you, we was in Northampton for a pre-season game. And bear in mind, he got there 2 weeks after I got there. And I was the man before he got there. I'm 6'2". I jump 42 inches in the air. I can go through my legs. I can do a little windmill. I was the man for 2 weeks because all my teammates were like vets. They don't dunk in practice no more. I was the man, bro. This guy walks in. Douche. They forgot I could dunk, bro. They're like, oh, Ish, what was that? You got up. I'm like, oh, so now he's here. I can't. All right, I was the man. They were like, used to be like, yo, show me something, Rook. Show me something, Rook. You know what I mean? I never got that call again after this dude was over there, boy. It was terrible. But he
had it.
But my first poster, it was a sneaky one. We're up. We're playing Essex Pirates. Big up Essex Pirates. And Jamal Anderson is a rookie as well. And I just seen him at the GB camp. And I went to Essex Pirates because I was thinking about going to the academy they had over there. Okay. They had a basketball academy over there from Tim Lewis. I think he coaches in Vietnam now. He was part of the GB setup for years, Tim Lewis. Bro, this dude, like, the referee gave someone the ball after a timeout and started counting down because they were taking too long to come out of the timeout. Yeah. So I caught it and I see my teammate, big up you, love you, bro, Frank Holmes, under the basket. And I'm like, there's no way I'm passing it. If I've got a clear lane, I'm not leaving the game with an assist and no dunk. So Frank's like, yo. And obviously as a rookie, I didn't realize that people cared about stats as much as they did. Right. Like I didn't realize they were even on paper. Like I'm sorry, like I'm old. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't know they were even on, and even your first stats, you look at stats now, it's easy to get. Back in the day, you had to go through like a wall after wall after wall, like. So I understood that Frank needed his stats because he was a big and he was American. He was trying to get out of the league. He was trying to make more money. Mm-hmm. But I didn't care. So I seen Jamal Anderson coming over because I was going to dunk it with 2 hands like this. I see him coming over. I just dropped that hand so he could... Boom! After the game, we hugged and that. And at the end of the day, only reason I can tell that story is because I've seen this guy, Jamal Anderson, dunk on literally every human being on the planet.
Okay.
Like, he dunked on...
So he can take one every now and then.
Yeah, bro. He's. I've never seen him get dunked on as much as he's... Like, he dunked on a dude in his debut final. So you're playing in front of 4,000 people in the NIA, Birmingham. You're playing against this guy who now plays with Jimmy Fredette. Kareem Maddox, his name was.
Okay.
And Jamal Anderson put it on his head. He could have won MVP if he didn't foul out. He played that well. And I wanted to talk about that story because that was one of the most beautiful things I ever seen, bro. I was so happy for him. I was at that dunk contest as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we had was I at that dunk contest? Yeah, we was. It was me. No. Me and him was at the dunk contest the year before, the year after, or the year before. So I was in Essex when he got his MVP.
Yeah.
I was so proud of him, bro. I will never forget that. I will never forget that day as long as I live. You know what I mean? One of Leicester's first trophies, and then we were like bitter rivals when I was in MK. Yeah. But I love Leicester. I love the Leicester Riders, bro. I love Rob Paternostro. He's one of my favorite coaches of all time.
He's been around forever.
He's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
He's a soldier, bro. Like, them man used to play in a gym, yeah, where if you shot the ball too high, it would hit the roof.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, yo, I'm serious. Like, it would hit the roof. You couldn't shoot the ball too high. It was the John Sanford Centre, but it was a fortress, bro. It was a fortress.
Everyone firing missiles.
It was a fortress that the crowd were like hugging you, bro. And it was loud in there. It was amazing. They had both sides up. And they have a really good Asian community there. So before they had this guy, he would be playing the drums and it was
it sounds like a vibe.
Bro, we hate each other. I couldn't tell you why.
It's one of the things, isn't it?
I'm 19. I'm not about to ask.
What's the beef with this lot? It's
exactly.
Like, no, you're getting involved.
We're really on it. And then one of our guys went there the next year. So I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? But these men were like, we had problems, bro. And the thing, I didn't like it because they had a guy on their team called Tony Winless. And you know Tony.
Yeah.
Tony's a baller, man.
Yeah.
And he was one of my like heroes growing up. Tony Winless, just his confidence.
One of the best.
I heard he was the best. Vince Macauley said that he's never seen someone catch the ball better than him. He could catch they used to run a play where he had to catch the ball like this to score at Milton Keynes. And he was the one that was catching it all the time. Vince talks about that a lot.
How much of practice would be on team tactics and the sets and defensively what you're going to do, and how much was on developing as an individual?
I think, to be brutally honest with you, Germany's the best for that.
Right.
Germany's the best for that. But in Milton Keynes, we were lucky enough to have our own arena because Vince is just a man. Like he always... I love Vince. I told him, like, you need to finish that book or write it, one of them, because I need to figure out how he's so resilient. This guy, we were supposed to... When I first moved to Milton Keynes, the one thing that made me want to go there over the other teams that I won't call out because I don't want to make it look like I'm a bad man. But, like, the other teams that called me... You know, I'll call one out because you're folded now. London Capitals, I weren't going over there. You might want some joke thing. I loved everyone that played there. Big up Bodie, big up Santa. But the way, now I realise that, like, you shouldn't have been in the BBL. Like, when I was in Germany, it was, you could get in the gym whenever you wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
They were on you. And I loved that about it. Like, if they weren't on you, but you was on them, the same result happened. You got in the gym because you want to do it. You know, you want to. I've always wanted. I'm a gym rat. I need to be shooting. I've got 22 weeks of like all my jumpers that I've taken for 22 weeks, including game warm ups.
Right.
I write it down before the game, whatever. So I'm a gym rat, and I learned that from Germany.
Okay.
But in Milton Keynes, we did have a court available to us 24/7, and Vince did. It was amazing. Yeah. We had a wooden floor as well. We had a wooden floor from, and GB used that floor.
Okay.
They used to you just pick it up and travel it around, sand it down, everything. And we had the baskets there, everything. We moved everything into this warehouse. It's now a range now, or one of those places where you can get deck chairs. Because we all need
those people walking around that floor have no idea what was there.
I know.
It's sad, isn't it?
It makes me feel like it burns me inside.
Yeah, I bet it does, to be fair.
It burns me inside, bro. We had an office there. We had someone create graffiti in our changing rooms. Like, I had the memories there. But before practice, I used to get to... when I was a rookie, my first 2 years as a rookie in Milton Keynes, I practiced with the college as well. So I used to wake up, practice at 7 a.m., finish at 9:30, practice with the men. You know what I mean? Do that for the first 2 years. But then after my second year, I would get to the gym. The practice would be at 10. I'd get to the gym at 7, or I'd get to the gym at like 8 o'clock to start working out at 8:30, because I got there at 8 o'clock one time. And then it was the day to run. So I'm like, I've been rubbing in the gym. And when he gets angry, because there's no booking, it's not a booking. Until we get this right, we're going to do it. And it's like, that's how Mike was. So, bro, I remember we had a 6-hour practice. I had a 6-hour practice once. Where I shot, we watched tape, and we practiced. It was after we lost to Glasgow Rocks. He was heated. Okay. Because Mike was always clean shaven. He only had a little moustache. And you knew he was stressed out. Yeah. He had like...
We had a bit of stubble going.
Yeah. We're in trouble. Like, he ain't got his routine in today, man. But in NBA-1, it's difficult. The teams you can see who does it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can see. I'm proud of everyone that can do that. But typically, as a professional, you are responsible for your individual workouts when the season starts. Because some people don't work out.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get extra shots up. And some people can do it. Honest to God, there's no judgment there. You know? Some of these people have just flat out talent. Like, that's it. You can't, in my opinion, Zaya worked his butt off when he was a young guy, you know, because defense is a choice. It's a physical choice you have to make. But no one can tell me he doesn't have talent. This guy will juggle 3 like butter. Like, for no reason. With one hand. So it's like, dude, come on, what the hell? But that's on you. But a lot of the team stuff, especially in the BBL, which I love, is a lot of tape. It's a lot of watching tape. And that's why I got into like falling in love with watching tape. Okay. I fell in love with watching tape.
And you would watch it as a group? As a group. Right.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes in a bar after practice. There was like but obviously you weren't drinking. I think it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. Well, I'd hope so. But it's dark, you know. Bars get dark sometimes. But we'd watch the game. You know, we did a meet at my house. We watched the game. So we used to watch the game, and like I started like just actually doing my own scout mentally. Yeah. Because that's what turned me into a really good defender, to be honest. And then it would be going through the other team's sets. Love doing that. Right. Like, if you know your own set super, super well, learning a new one is really cool. And you'd get your scout on the day, and it would be on the wall, and you have your name next to the matchups that you're probably going to be playing. Okay. Yeah. So that was really cool. Everything was super concise. And other teams do it other ways. You know, some coaches say, I don't care who we're guarding, the system is the system. I hate that. It's not robust enough. Yeah. And then you've got some that are like super, super detailed, you know, but they don't hold you accountable for the details. Okay. Right. So it's like, maybe send him left. Or it's like, yo, if he goes left today, you're coming out. Until he goes left and gives us 15 going left, he's going left. Because I don't believe it's going to be like how he goes right. Yeah. Or don't go under on the shot. Stuff like this. Yeah. You know, but some guys, they just retrofitted. We'll go over on a guy that can't shoot. So what I mean by going under, if the screen comes and you go under the screen, you're giving that guy space to shoot. But if you don't believe he can, that's no disrespect to anyone who goes under. Some teams just do it. Yeah. Derby just go under on everybody, and sometimes they get burnt for it. Or they trap. Sometimes they get burnt for that. They got burnt this weekend. So like, it's just what people think about doing. Right. And it's also really good to learn, because you don't want people going under on you. Yeah. Tell you that. Yeah. No one going under on me. Don't put me. I'm gonna shoot that John. You know what I'm saying? So, and you want to be able to have confidence in your workouts from doing that. So you have to get your work in. Sure. Some people, I personally, people like untalented people like me had to shoot, practice every day, had to be on it, had to have a routine.
So would you have a shooting partner, a practice partner?
Yeah, normally a rook.
Right.
Normally someone that's in the same situation as me, want to be successful. But then I shot with this amazing shooter. I've shot with some amazing players, man. I shot with Monty Younis in Lithuania a couple years ago. I say shot with him. Like I was just like trying to see if he wanted to smoke. But and I don't want the smoke. But I shot with Jordan Spencer a lot. Really good. He's younger than me, right? But he was like laser focused. Had the great rotation on the ball. Blaine Freckleton, one of the best shooters ever to play in this country. My boy Chris Tarrier, 6'11", 6'11", great mid-range shooter. And Nigel Lloyd really taught me a lot. Okay. Nigel Lloyd really, he, in my opinion, probably the best player to ever play in this country. You know Nigel Lloyd, he played for the Birmingham Bullets.
Yeah, I used to hate Nigel.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And you know how he is as well. Good. Yeah, and how he is as well. He knows it. Like, and he really gave me, not in the best way, but he really gave me the tips of my shot and changed my whole perspective of making shots. Because I was more of a guy that went to the rim.
Right. Yeah. So functionally or mentally?
Everything.
Right.
Everything. Even if he wasn't telling you, he was showing you. Right. And he would kick our butts, bro.
Yeah.
Nigel make his first 60 shots without missing. And it don't matter if it's a size 7. We used to shoot with a size 9. You know, those big ones because Nate Rankin used to do that.
Okay.
And that's when I don't know if Nigel took it from Nate Rankin, but I know Nate Rankin and Nigel. I was working with Nate Rankin was He was hot because he was about to play in the Olympics. Yeah. And that's the only reason he was here. Yeah. all right. Thank you, Nate. You know. No, big up Nate Rankin, bro, because he was another methodical guy that I took a lot of stuff from. Because I used to get to the gym really early, 2 hours early. I still do, and I used to watch other guys work out. And I was really surprised that Charles Smith didn't really have a crazy workout because he was one of my favourite players of all time. Yeah. I need to get I need a Charles Smith jersey. I need to talk to him about that actually. See if he'll hook me up. I need a Northern Rock, Newcastle Eagles, Nike flat out jersey. I need one in my possession. They are tough.
So when you're training now on your own or with a partner, do you still hear Nigel in your head if you're...
Not anymore. No. Nah, not
anymore. Is it all self-correction now?
It's all, I'm deep in. Nigel kind of helped me get the attention to detail, and them guys were kicking my ass shooting, man. Jordan Spencer was kicking my ass, and he was younger than me. And Nigel was kicking everyone's ass. So I never cared that Jordan was smoking me because it was always... Nigel was the constant. I think Jordan was in America, and then Blaine was somewhere at County Upper. It's like an EABL team. And Nigel was the constant because I had him all winter. I had him in the winter, and then I had him all summer. Like, we get in there, 385 shots a day, go to the gym after lift, and I said to Nigel one day, I don't want to lift. And this is when I started getting good at shooting. I was like, I don't want to lift. And he's like, what are you talking about you don't want to lift? I said, because I'm shooting the ball pretty good, but every time I lift, I can't do it. It's like, you're going to be behind. That's how he told me not to do that. He wouldn't say, Ishmael, don't do that. Like, go to the gym, be resilient. Your shot's going to get better whether you go to the gym or you don't go to the gym, but you can't come from behind and be weaker because you're small and people will knock you out the air. These are grown men you're playing against. It's like, all right, then be behind. That's how he tell you. All right, then be behind, Ish. Be behind if you want to be behind. Like, damn, bro, I came up to you to ask you. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he would teach. You know, I got used to. That's probably how I got resilient, by learning how different people teach.
And because you coached now, you coach at the college,
I coached a bit. I coached a bit. I coached.
So you've had a lot of influences on.
Sometimes, but a lot of it is like the experiences I want to get from it. So I got some individuals that I coached that, and I think they're high level players. Like when I was in Milton Keynes, I met Jeremy Sochan. Like I worked out with Jeremy Sochan a lot, and like he's one of my I love the guy. Like.
You don't share the same barber?
No. I think his barber shows up to his house and dyes his hair. But, you know, I knew he was like the guy that you see, it's really hard to explain, but the guy that you see is like the guy that he was. Just this bright.
Yeah.
You know, you see with the hair and the tattoos now, but he's just been this bright guy. He's just super bright.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people gravitate towards him. He cares about people. His mum is incredible. His mum and dad, they're just some incredible human beings, dude. Like, they're such an amazing group of people, bro. Like, and he is one of the most, I'm proud to have known him. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if however I impacted his basketball life. Like, I am proud to have just known a guy who is super bright and just, you know, only Jeremy, bro, could go to the NBA and hear everything about what's traditional to do, and he plays his first season shooting with one hand from the free throw line, and it works. Only him.
Ain't broke, don't fix it, eh?
Bro, that's Greg said, yo, just shoot with one hand, because when you shoot with two hands, you've got a hitch. And his shot went out, his free throws went up 60%, something crazy. Only Jeremy, bro. Only him. But that was one of my biggest coaching like things. I went to Lithuania, and you're gonna see some of those guys, some of the products of those are gonna come to fruition.
Yeah.
You're gonna see them for sure. You're gonna see them for sure, man. Like, some of them. There was a kid over there. He plays at Barking now. I don't want to butcher his name, but 3-point shooter, physical, one of the hardest working kids at the camp. You know, I was working out with like, that's where I met Monty Eunice.
Okay.
And that's one like you've got to go to Lithuania and see what their practice gym looks like.
Yeah.
It's the most. When I landed, I was excited, but it's the most stressful thing to know that the biggest team in Lithuania, their practice gym is at their arena, but the other practice gym for all their academies is an arena. And it has 4 full-length courts in it, a shooting machine, about 200 basketballs of every size.
Wow.
We're talking, they had the World Cup basketballs there, they had the league basketball, everything. Yeah. And just professionals walking in and out every day, getting individual works in. Talking about and I watched the Lithuanians under 20s play. The girl that just got drafted, I seen her practice. It's just the most beautiful thing. Like, really? Yeah, and that's like one of my coaching.
Imagine getting something like that in the UK,
brother. And it just takes a cohesive effort.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with it?
Because of Jeremy.
Right. Okay.
Jeremy's agent asked me like what I thought about it, and I was like, I really want to go. And I met like my guy Mihai, big up Mihai, bro, and I met some amazing human beings over there, and they're still helping me to this day, like do stuff, you know. Martinez, big up Martinez. Martinez played here, so he kind of understands the plight of, he came here to do university, because obviously England, that's what kills me about English basketball. We have people dying to come over here because our universities are such a high standard, but we don't put no money into like making the university sport something powerful.
No. Yeah. Yeah, like, we were talking about this the other day.
Literally, it's so frustrating.
It's almost like a missing layer.
Yeah, it's like what Loughborough have, everyone could have.
Yeah. There's
no reason. You're just not putting the money into it, you know? And I'm not saying Loughborough's got 3 gyms. I'm saying 1. Have 1. Make your sports elite. You know, I see some teams trying, you know, but you got to get behind them and put some real money behind it. It can't just be the Olympics have come, so now we've got a new gym. Like, how many times?
Literally.
You know, what are we going to do? You know, and with the state of basketball here politically, the universities have to step up or we're in trouble. You know, you see what's going on above us, like with the SLB.
Yeah.
It's making me panic. I'm panicking for the young guys out there, bro. Like, I'm really panicking for them.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, the prospect of someone being in charge who's got a 15-year remit is something that's the league's been missing.
Yeah.
But in my view, the timing and the way it's all come about doesn't fill anyone with any confidence at all.
And it's just the silence, because it's happened before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we had this big investor before, the Budweiser League. And the Budweiser, I forgot to bring my John Williams jersey. That's what got me into basketball, watching John Williams, watching like Fab Flournoy, watching Charles Smith, like, in these massive arenas. Tony Witness, London Towers, Brighton Bears, Derby, like, all these amazing, this was, like, amazing to me, you know? And, like, to take that away from someone, we don't know, whatever's going on over there, they don't understand the damage that they could make.
No.
With all because you got this guy coming in to start a league.
Yeah.
But the SLB has all the teams.
I know. So
what's going to happen?
Are they going to try and launch new teams, or teams they've gone folded before? They might have a bit of a fan area. Like, I
have no idea.
Because it doesn't seem like they want to be communicating or making life easy for each other.
And the problem, the really scary thing for me is the guys only said what I've always heard. We're going to try and put new teams in these places like Cardiff and this and this and this. And it's like, you lot said that before. Like, and what happened?
Yeah.
You know? So it's really stressful, man. I hope they figure this out, because it's not fair on the players. You can't complain that the players are not coming back. You think Gabe Abolderin's going to stand for this when he's supposed to be playing in EuroLeague? You think he's going to you think he wants to sit here dealing with this? You know how much money he's supposed to be making? He just, no. And it's like, why don't you figure out? And that's why players need a union.
Yeah.
100% players need a union. This can't happen. They're doing all this without even having a conversation with a player. No conversations have been had with any players.
It's, I mean, next year is supposed to be a year of moving from one organisation to another. It's quite difficult from the outside looking in at the moment to see how you go from this is SLB, this is BBF and the new organisation, GBBL. They're not speaking to each other, apart from my lawyer's going to talk to your lawyer.
Yeah.
How does that...
X, like, it's like, bro, it's like watching a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it is.
Literally.
I don't know what's going to happen, brother. I'm worried about that still. I want that to come out really well. And I want, for once, the players here, people like Jamal Anderson, people like Carl Jimenez, like people like Johnny Bunyan who've been here. Like, I want them to benefit from it, whatever happens. I care about them. I care about everyone, but I've seen these guys. I know what they put themselves through.
People work so hard.
Yeah, like Josh Still, everything he does, like he's got his own little pod. Like he's working like outside of basketball to make basketball look good here. He's showing you insight in his life, and you haven't had a conversation with the guy. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I just don't appreciate that at all.
Yeah, well, who knows what's going to happen, and you got to stay hopeful.
Stay positive.
Yeah, we'll see.
And just hopefully, simply just because, like, think of all the experiences that we've seen growing up, or games we've watched, games we've been able to be involved with in the UK, and how much of a good thing that is, and how much people enjoy themselves there. If someone just takes a little bit more control, you're going to benefit the players, the teams, and the fans, and hopefully build more fans to it and show off why this sport is so good.
It's so amazing, bro. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, you put me floor seats at Hemel Storm of that game that they just played this Saturday, Hemel Storm for MK. I'm going to have a good night, man. I'm going to have a good old night, boy. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that it's just sometimes it feels pretty weird because the calm after the storm's too calm. Like, I was watching that game, I had goosebumps in my arms. I couldn't believe how good that game was. Like, and we're not showing, the biggest detail that I know right now in British basketball right now is the top leagues are arguing.
Yeah,
this bad thing's happening, that thing's happening. London Lions, people complain about them. Like, it's like there's. We just had a playoff game, one of the best playoff games I've seen in the last 3 years. Like, all the playoff games have been tough. Like, the two teams in the finals this weekend, they didn't come first and second. They came third and fourth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's amazing.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
It's such a distraction with all the
rubbish.
Yeah, all the stuff that's going on.
Man.
So hopefully there'll be some sort of positive resolution and it'll build.
Has to be.
Of course. And going back to your Milton Keynes days, how long were you playing there for before you changed up?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And how did you notice your game developed over that time from being the rook, second year, third year?
I established a brand.
Okay.
Yeah. By the fourth year, by the time Milton Keynes Lions had moved to become London Lions, I was the first one of the first players in the London Lions team, by the way. So when I come over, can I not have to pay? Can I sit down? I wear a nice fit?
Where's the honorary ticket then, man?
A bit of love,
I'm going to text Andrew as someone's going to set me up. No, I love you, man. It's jokes. I established a brand for myself, and I established a brand I was comfortable with. Like, mentally, I want to be a guy who knows every play from every position, and I want to guard full court, and I want to catch a couple of oops, and I want to make threes. So I knew it. But by the time I went to Germany, after my 2 years at Essex, they were successful years. I shot the ball really well. Germany, it was like, Ishmael, they took me out for not shooting.
Such a contrast then to what you've been used to.
Like when you're between being a British player playing in Britain to being an import, British player playing in Germany, you are now an import. Yeah. There are standards. Luckily, I was very lucky that, I didn't take anything for granted. I was very, very lucky. I was very, very, amazed by anything I got. You know what I mean? My first year, I lived with my 2 teammates, and then by my last year, I had my house by myself. So it was like...
No way.
Yeah, bro, it was nice. And even when they gave me, I'm from the era where basketball you wasn't getting paid a lot of money to play in, the BBL. I'm from the era of, just after Budweiser League kind of crashed. Yeah. Then you didn't know there was going to be a league, and a lot of teams folded, and then the Birmingham Bullets moved from playing in an arena to playing in a sports centre. I'm from the era where we're now going back up to playing in these arenas kind of thing. Yeah. So the money was crazy. You looked at teams like Plymouth Raiders, or you looked at Newcastle Eagles playing in the Metro Arena, and their man must be getting paid, and they had car sponsors, but you never really know. You'd never pocket watch. But when I went to Germany and they said, "Oh, we need to take you to get your health insurance card," I was like, "What? What?" And then they gave me a bike and a bus pass. I was like, "Damn." Damn, what? And the bike got stolen. Oh, no. The bike got stolen, bro.
Country that's got Mercedes, Audi, BMW, and you got yourself a car.
I was like, what? Bro, this is sick. And they used to just give you beers and stuff and coats. And they used to look after you. Felt wanted there. Yeah. My second year in this place, my favourite ever team I've ever played on in my life, the way they used to treat you, bro, I loved it. I still talk to everyone from that team.
So how did you get that opportunity? Did you have an agent?
To go to Germany? Yeah. I don't have an agent, actually. Right. This is another thing I want to tell you about resilience. So when I was trying to go to university in America, and I only got NCAA offers, junior college offers, I came home and I emailed every university in America. I just sent them emails and sent them tape. Send them emails and send them tape. And my tape now I realise my tape sucked, but I was dunking on people. Right. And I was crossing people up and scoring. Yeah. My tape was garbage. It was trash.
But at the time, you're probably thinking what you want them to see. Yeah. To obviously say you're about building a brand.
And I had a couple of bedrins who were in America already. Yeah. And I showed them my tape, yo, look at my tape. And yo, take them fucking free throws out, Ish. What you got free throws on there for, bro? You look like you think they don't have you think there's not Americans over there that can make a free throw? Take them shits out. So I came home and I was in, but I got better tape now. I got tape where I have 18 and a half. I scored 18 points in this first half. I scored 30 points in this game. I scored 25 in this game. And here's me dunking in an arena full of 4,000 people for the dunk contest. I had amassed, when I played at Essex, I was violating. So it was I had amassed, and I had a freaking amazing point guard. If it wasn't for him, I watched my tape the other day. Most of the time I'm open and I'm catching the ball. It's because he's passing it. So I love you, Chris Clark. You got me a job, you did, and I got you that job. So we good. But he was the guy that I used to go out and practice every time as a rookie was now my teammate, and I'm a prominent part of the team. I'm the third option. Sure. But I knew at some point I needed to get out and I wanted to make some real money. So I knew Germany were paying up to a certain amount of money. And I knew I didn't want to go to, no disrespect to Series C Silver in Italy. They offered me the most money. Right. But every person that played there said, don't go because you'll never get to move up to another league. Right, if you go to this league in Germany, you're playing against some of the best Americans because the leagues above in Germany had a rule at the time where you could only have a certain amount of Bosman A players on the team. So Bosman A, before we voted ourselves out of the EU, I don't even want to get political. Before we voted ourselves out of the EU, I could play anywhere. I could play anywhere. I had offers in Portugal, Italy, Spain. I could play anywhere. As soon as, it was tough because you become your worth when you've got a British passport in Europe pre-EU was ridiculous. You could charge a lot of money, and that's why they looked after you. but your worth after was, if you was a British player playing overseas in America, in Europe, when like EU cut off, you was a bad boy. You was one of the bad man. Like you was like Ryan Martin. You was Teddy Okafor. You was Gabe. Like you was dudes that came from D1 schools. Yeah. Had workouts for NBA teams like Ashley Hamilton, and you was D's man. Yeah. So it was different for me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to go to America, for my stock. You know what I mean? But these men got it and they achieved it, and they're bad boys. Love you. So when they were playing in Europe, they were making the money after that, because the money, like, they're basically the worth the same as an American. Yeah. Right. So when I played in Germany, I didn't have no German teammates in my second year over here. No, I had 2, and both got injured and stopped playing. But I had 3: Kai Diki, Bart Zentz, and Leo. I can't pronounce his surname. Love you. But the rest of us were Lithuanian, British, and American. And I couldn't believe like how good everyone was. Right. And like, I just couldn't believe. But that's why I knew I had arrived as a professional. Yeah. I'm a professional basketball player. You know, I am here to do a job. There are people being sent home. They are cutting people. They're sending people home. Yeah. And when I played in Milton Keynes, a lot of people got cut. Like a lot of but it was only Americans. One British guy got cut, but a lot of Americans were getting cut. I had like freaking my rookie year, the amount of Americans. No, my second year. The amount of Americans that didn't make it to Christmas, bro.
Really?
Dude.
Was that because they were not up to scratch, or was it for other reasons?
They weren't up to scratch, bro. Right. There was one time when a player got cut and he was a baller, and they messed. It was the wrong decision. We got worse when he left. Right. But his energy, I don't think the coaches were feeling his energy, and I loved his energy. I love him to death. And he got cut for it, but it made us worse. He had the stuff that we needed. But that's what it was like, bro. I remember one guy, I knew he was getting cut. I had the feeling, because Mike wasn't talking to him anymore. Right. Mike wasn't raising his voice.
So you got that vibe straight up. You just like,
oh, he's in trouble. He did, because it's like the guy would make him, like a week ago, he made this mistake. Let's say he made this mistake. And Mike was he doesn't have no hair, but he was tearing his feet. He was losing it. And when Mike's eyes was sweat, you know what I mean? Like, he would lose it and his sweat beads would come down his head. Have you ever seen, you know The Matrix? Yeah. You know when Morpheus is sitting in a chair and man's like, I hate this place. Yeah. I have to leave. You know how Morpheus was sweating? Yeah. Bro? That's how Mike looked when he was angry, eyes red. So he did this thing a week before. I don't want to say his name. He did this thing a week before and Mike lost it with him. We played in a game. We lost. And then we had a week's practice the next week, and he did the same thing the first day of practice. And Mike didn't say nothing. Mike was like, yep, all right, let's do this. Hey, go that way, blah, blah, blah. It was a play. Yeah. It was a play, and we all knew it except him, and he was the American. Right. You can't be an American not knowing the sets. Mike didn't say nothing. He had dumb bounce. He was 6'11". He had the stupidest bounce, but he was like, his IQ was really low. Yeah. And you know, he was more suited for like street ball kind of stuff. Right. This was right after, street ball's nothing now. Organised basketball's the thing. He got cut, and I remember sitting there going, damn, I ain't gonna see him tomorrow. I can feel it. Like, some couple guys got cut for misconduct, but he got cut for basketball, bro. Right. And it was like, it hurt me. I was like, what is he gonna do? Because it's like, you have this contract for this long, so you know what your money's doing for this long, and then you get cut. Like, what are you gonna? You're getting on a plane back home. What are you gonna say? Like, what are you gonna say? That's what used to like. I used to be scared to get cut, bro. Like, what are you gonna? And I know, man, them go through that in their brain, because you leave. I remember when I left my first to go to America, to go to Germany. You feel some type of way, like this is the first day of the rest of my life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I'm leaving my kids at home to go do this.
Because it's hard to get set up, isn't it? It's hard to get that offer.
Yeah, because it's really, like, the whole job thing is wild. Because they just want to know that you're, like, they ain't recruiting, like, rookies out of, you know, Like the whole thing is just, I don't know if it's like Germany has a really good like development system. England doesn't. Like, let's just be real.
Yeah.
Like the only thing English teams are doing right now is surviving. Then no one's really like, I'm not saying people don't develop. Man, them develop. We've got some really good high quality basketball players.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not developing enough of them at a high enough rate. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the skill level because that's partly on them. I'm talking about the stuff that makes you understand what this game's about.
Yeah.
We are not doing at a high level like the other teams. Like in Germany.
Yeah.
Like
so was that the big difference? Because you said you couldn't believe how good your teammates in Germany were, yet you'd come from teams in Britain which has some really good players. Was it the IQ rather than the physical talent, which was 100%?
I don't think that physical talent. I don't think there's ever been a role player that's ever wowed me with their physical talent as much as people that I've played with in England. You know.
Yeah.
But the IQ, the understanding, the listening, you know what I mean? The conduct, the everything, it's just there. And then you watch them play, and the youth basketball is so advanced. There's not one team that's not doing this thing like at a high level, because you have to. Because if you're in Berlin and you're not playing for Alba Berlin, but you want to play professional basketball, you've got to be as good as them because they've got they have first refusal on any single. They've got so many NBA players that have come out of there. Like they've got the Wagner twins, they got and everyone becomes a professional over there. It doesn't matter if it's in the BBL, if it's Pro A, Pro B, Reg 1. Every single one of them in that academy, if they listen and just go to the academy and do what they're supposed to do, will play professional basketball in one of the professional leagues over there and make money. That's what will happen. Or they'll go to university in America, or they'll do something. If you guys go home and see how many German players are playing basketball in America, you're going to lose your shit. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And it's partly our fault because we have the athletes. There are guys jumping out the gym at Brighton, on Brighton Beach on a Saturday, but they don't know the game. You know what I mean? Like they don't know the game because they're not being put in them situations because the teams, and it's not their fault, there's no money in it. Like the teams are not developing as much as to their capabilities that I know they can. There's some talented coaches, man. Sussex Bears have a guy, bro, he's amazing. You know what I mean? Like I coached against a team in Portsmouth. Dude was running this really intricate little zone. And it's like, if he had more of the talent, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the issue here, bro. But it will get better. I have all the faith in the world. You know?
Hope you're right.
Fingers crossed.
It will get better.
So were you at the same team in Germany for 2 seasons, or did you change between?
So I played in Berlin.
Yep.
And I didn't like it. I'm not going to lie. No disrespect to you, man. But I didn't like it. Then I played in Hanover and I loved it. And I should have stayed there. They offered me to go back. I didn't go back. I should have stayed there. I went for £200 extra euros. I should have stayed there. And then, but I don't regret it. Loved them to death. And then I went to Rosenheim my last year. But I hate teams that just want to stay in the league. But I went to Rosenheim because my cousin, she plays professional basketball as well.
Okay.
And she was coming out of college. Big up Natalie. She was coming out of college. She just became the all-time leading scorer, still is, all-time leading scorer of Ball State University. Came out of college, didn't get drafted, and went to Wasserberg in Germany, which was 20 minutes drive from where I was playing. And she told me that she was going to Wasserberg whilst I was in Germany, in St. Louis, trying to get another job. Okay. So I got offered to come out to St. Louis and work out with this team in St. Louis. And then I ended up rejecting them. I didn't even want to hear their offer. I didn't want to hear it. Like, I actually helped my boy Adrian Kawinyu get that job. So I called him like, my cousin. Because I already had an offer from Rosenheim before I flew to St. Louis.
Okay.
But I was going to try and see. I was trying to finesse some more money out of them. But then when my cousin texted me, I said to her, where you going to play? Have you got an agent trying to check in on my little cousin kind of thing? She's like, I'm playing in Wasserberg, bro. I'm going to go over there and play. I searched it on the map. I said, I'm out. I'm out. That was the best thing in my life, though, having my cousin there for 9 months.
Yeah, cool.
And someone else that played there, Shay Petty, she's got a WNBA ring now.
Okay.
So it's like, she's one of my closest friends too. Big up Shay. So it's like, it was one of the best things for meeting.
Yeah, of course.
Being around your family and seeing people that you love for years, you know?
Were you quite homesick then?
Never. I've never been homesick. I feel bad about saying that because I got kids. But I've never been homesick. I didn't realise, that's one part that they didn't, my daughters, I appreciate them so much. They didn't really show me like how much they miss me. Because they're super, like, I incepted the idea, which was stupid but of me, but I did. You know what I mean? I accepted the idea that, daddy's coming back, I'm your guy, but I wasn't homesick. Okay. I was thinking, I'm doing this for them. You know what I mean? I'm doing this for them. At least they can go and say, my daddy does this, or when they want something, I can pay for it.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for them, bro. And then that changes for you, but it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just becomes a duty, But I was never, ever homesick, ever. No.
How was it being out there as a professional athlete? Obviously, Germany's a little bit different in the UK. Language barrier for starters.
There's not really. I learned the language.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I learned the language.
How was it learning it?
It was difficult. It's more difficult because of your confidence.
Yeah.
Sitting there
that'll hold you back, won't it? You know the words, but you're like...
I don't know how to say it without sounding like a waste man. You know what I'm saying? And you're living your life, so you're in these actual situations where you have to be social.
Yeah.
And you don't want the social thing to be, he's trying to speak German, but he sounds like a dickhead. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of them spoke English anyway.
Oh, it makes it a bit easier, doesn't it?
A lot of people spoke English. And when I kind of started learning the language and reading a bit, because I'm interested in politics and stuff, I wanted to know. Like, it was so good for me, man. It was so good. But there was Germany, my second year especially, the town embraced us so much. Like, we had sold out games. I got to go to watch like ice hockey. Their ice hockey league in Germany, the professional ice hockey league in Germany is one of the best outside of America.
Really?
Yeah, it's sick. Like, I didn't realize, I'd never seen an ice hockey game before. I actually thought all the fights weren't like orchestrated. Like, like we're fighting. I thought they were like, oh, you hit me with your stick, I'm actually really mad. But no, they actually do that, like, part of, it's just beef.
Do you remember, it was not long ago, it was America versus Canada in one of the games out there. Bro. Whistle went, gloves off straight away, and I'm like, you don't fuck about at all, do you?
What are we doing? Yeah, we're not even, they do this.
Because I have to shake it off,
shake them off, come on, and they hold each other's shirts. And
they still got the helmets on, they're just giving lumps into it. I'm like, your hands must be made out of granite.
What are you, man, doing?
On ice.
On ice.
With knives on their feet. They're not caring at all.
They're on some joke thing, bro.
And referees just caught in a little mosh pit around. They're just like, no, let him to it,
I feel like I understand why, because if the referee gets involved, he's probably going to get hurt.
100%.
He's like, yo, let them man swing.
Because they're swinging regardless. They're not even looking where they're going to.
It's like, bro, but like watching it live. But what if it wasn't for basketball? I'd never seen it.
No, exactly that. It's
You know
like
what
some
I mean?
experience to have.
And I had they had a American football team out there that asked me to play. I was like, no. No, I'm not doing that. Come on, bro. What you want me to do? Catch? Yeah. What? And get people to tackle you. Not flag football.
No, they go through.
Yeah. Nah, bro, you're good. I know Dwayne Chambers was over there for years. Dwayne Chambers, he used to play American.
He played rugby for a bit as well up in Richmond. I think he was somewhere like that. Mate, rapid, mate, unbelievable.
Short though.
Mate, he's like that.
I couldn't believe it when I first saw him in real
life. Like that, though, isn't he? He's swole still with it, but it's just like
he must be. Love that guy, bro. He was one of my favorite human beings.
So after Germany, obviously having quite a pretty mad experience with that and seeing obviously changing between teams, seeing the different atmospheres at different places. Where did you leave to after that? Did you come back UK or?
Came back to the UK because my last year in Germany was a stressful one. My daughter got sick, so I wanted to spend a year with her. And she's amazing now. Big up Ezra. So I was like actually working for Vince at London Lions and practicing every morning with London Lions, getting ready to get back into playing.
Yeah.
So I was the commentator at London Lions for a year.
Oh, wow.
And I got to interview LeVar Ball and like I got to see all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for a year. I did get offers. I won't say who. I did get offers. I appreciate those offers. And I got offers to go back overseas, but I wasn't doing that when I wasn't going to do that. So then I went to after that year, it was my first year in Worthing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And why Why Worthing?
Because I'm a super fan of basketball. Like, I'm a super duper fan of basketball. And we used to crush Worthing. When I played at Essex, we used to crush them. Like, we knew that they used to stand up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? I was like, we used to be in the corner.
Nice
like,
little challenge.
Keep these dudes standing up for 2 minutes, man. Keep them, And I don't mind them think that.
So you want to support your team, you want to stand up for it.
Every year, I tell the man them of my team, I said, look, the fans sit down, we punch these guys right in the mouth, we score. You know what I'm saying? Because the fans be standing up, and you want to hear them go, and sit down. You don't think, thank God. So when you ain't scored, that's what they did. They went, and it was a wicked dunk, the last time we kept them standing for a long time. It was a wicked, crazy dunk. And they went, and then they sat down. So I love that about Worthing. That was the first thing. But Zaire Taylor, bro. I watched Zaire all my years in Germany. I watched Zaire play.
Right.
And I see him play in college because I'm a basketball guy. And he was like, I'm going to go play at Worthing. And I was like, what?
So you knew him at London?
I knew him at Missouri.
Yeah.
I saw him play in Missouri. That was the first time I ever saw him play on Channel 5 at 4 o'clock in the morning in the tournament. Then he went to Leicester Riders, and then I started learning about him because I'm interested in this guy. And then he went to Worcester and violated. So all these times he's at Leicester, I'm in Essex, but when he went to Worcester, I'm in Germany. He's violating. And he's on Twitter talking shit. Like, he's got beef with people. Yeah, like, Leicester, I won you the MVP. He didn't even say thanks. He was talking to a particular person that's at Leicester, not Leicester as a whole. But them man are cool now. But he had the swag, and he did what he wanted on the basketball court. I mean, this guy shot a 360 layup, like, the other way, and finished it. And no one cared. So I was like, okay, he must do that a lot. But I watched him win every year. I watched how he played defense, and I loved his energy. And I said to myself, I want to be a really good role player in this league now. And I've always got to play with NBA bubble talent. So I played with Howard Crawford. I played with Chris Clark. I played with a lot of guys that played D1. I played with Andre Lockhart. I played with Tanner Adu. I played with some really high-level basketball players. They represented their country. They've captained their country. They've been at NBA workouts. They played on NBA court, on NBA summer leagues. They've done all these kind of things. They played in the NCAA tournament. I want to play with someone like that. I didn't want to go somewhere, and it's no disrespect to anyone, but I wanted to play with some of the all-time greats because I got to work out with Nigel. He's one of the best players to ever play. I got to play with Damaris Bowles. He's one of the best players to ever play in this country. If I get to play with Zaire, in my opinion, he's top 4, top 5 of best players ever to play in this country as an American. So if we said 5 top Americans to ever play here, Zaire's on my list. He's only on my list. Don't hurt me. And I think and when I got the opportunity to play on the team with him, he also was bringing in a guy called Alex Owumi.
Okay. And
I was like, dude, I have to play with Alex Owumi. This dude is so
ticking off a few things by doing it,
I'm
right?
like, bro, and he had a plan about how we were going to win. We're not going to sign any bigs. We're going to play, no one's going to be taller than 6'4", and we're going to switch everything. We're going to do all this kind of stuff. And I knew he had a bunch of triple doubles, so he knew what he was talking about. And we did play against dudes that were 7 foot that couldn't score. They just couldn't score on us. You know what I mean? They just couldn't, and we were joint top of the league. We lost it by 12. I think 5 points or 3 points. We lost the league by 3 points difference. Not like points difference.
What year was that?
2018, 2019. I want to say.
Was
Solon was just a juggernaut by that time. They had Jeremy. They had a really good point guard. I forget his name. And they got Nick Lewis from us, which was
I imagine.
It was tough.
Was Alex Owumi the guy who played in Iraq?
Yeah, he wrote a book, Gaddafi's Point Guard.
Yeah.
Syria.
What?
Yo, he played. Yeah, bro, that's a sick book. You got big up Alex. That is a sick book, bro. I read an excerpt from that book, and Alex is he tells a story.
That's a crazy tale.
That's mad.
But that's what happens, bro. You go to some of these places, and I'm not the same as him. I'm gonna read about where I'm going. I am going to read. I had to make sure. Alex, bro, I don't know how he didn't know who Gaddafi was. I didn't know. It's either Gaddafi or Gaddafi's son that owned the team.
Right.
And then he talks about in his book, like, I don't want to ruin it for you, but he talks about in his book, one day you're at practice and the next day you're looking out your window and the guys you was on practice with are part of the resistance and they're driving down the road with AK-47s. And you're hearing the story and you're like, I understand they get paid. Like, when you get to play in these leagues, you get paid a lot of money.
Yeah. It's needed, isn't it? It's a bit hazard pay to it out there.
I wish they thought of it. I think you should tack on a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, hazard pay. You know, but they get paid a lot of money, bro. And they get treated very, very well. So I understand why people go to these places, but there was a civil war going on, so maybe don't.
Yeah.
You know,
bit of due diligence.
Yeah, I had a teammate, bro. I got a story. I had a teammate called Demarius Bowles. I've said his name a couple of times, and he was playing in a place where the front of his hotel where he was staying at got blown off.
Oh, jeez.
The front of the hotel, a bomb blew it off the front of the hotel. So they evacuated the hotel and they're like, okay, we got to go to the game now. So. Yeah, but...
So Worthing's quite tranquil in
I love Worthing.
then.
You wake up, you walk along the beach, and then you walk home, and then you get ready for your game. That's what's beautiful about it. That's what's beautiful.
No bombs, no revolution.
No issues, bro. No issues, man. Yeah.
So you've been Worthing just on your 7th season?
Seventh season, yeah.
How was this past season? How?
It sucked ass.
Right.
It was so bad. And the reason why it was really bad is because... I love my teammates. I have some really good teammates and some really talented guys, and I don't think we deserved. We came in. I don't think we came in prepared enough. I don't think we came in with the mindset of what this was really going to be about, and I don't think we had enough pieces.
Right.
Later on in the year, you know, and then when we got a piece, he had a nagging injury, and he's quality.
Who's that?
Nino.
Right.
Hernandez, he twisted his ankle and had a nagging injury, and like he fought through it, man, as long as he could. But he ended up missing too much time for himself to have the confidence, and he had to get ready for his next opportunity. So I understood why he left.
Yeah. Right.
But we had, you know, our star man was leading in scoring and efficiency. It's really tough to lead in both, and that kind of showed you the kind of quality that we had on the team. We had a guy who's won literally everything in the BBL.
Yeah. And
in the NBL. Like, Lashley's won the league, he's won the cup. I think he was on the team that won the playoffs at the Lions. He's won the league, playoffs, cup, you name it, he's won it in the NBL. So we had the pieces. We had a really good point guard. We have a rookie, kind of old, on the old side of a rookie, but we had Malachi, flat out shoot it, great shooter. Great shooter, great human being. We had Bodie, leading scorer of all time. So you hear these kind of things. I'm reeling off this CV, and you're like, why can't we win? And it's like silly little things, like not finishing games, arguing, silly little things that have to be stomped out for teams to be like successful. So that's why it was so disappointing, because it was a great group of. It is a great group of guys.
We saw a few games, didn't we?
We went 4 games. It was Loughborough.
We beat Loughborough.
That was the first one we saw, and it was that was the first time I'd been to watch Thunder play. Obviously, you hadn't been in a long time since you were doing your club over Seaford Way, and then obviously when you were there in the early days when you got into basketball and stuff like that. But I hadn't been there before, and we've seen that some of the results have been a bit up and down. And I know Loughborough is obviously a sports uni, is what it is, and getting there and seeing you guys win, which was some performance, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah. And then who would we see next? Was it Essex next? Because we saw it was 2-2. The record we saw 2 wins and 2 losses.
Oh, so you must have seen us play either Essex, Bradford. Did you see Bradford?
No, we saw Birmingham.
Birmingham was a good game.
Birmingham, because we watched Birmingham, who were going for playoffs.
We were going for, to tell you the truth, we were going for the playoffs. Mathematically, it was still a thing.
Oh, was it?
It was.
But
it was. It was. But yeah.
But Thunder was so good in that game.
Yeah,
and we came out of that thinking, why has this season not been better?
Yeah.
When you can be that good.
No, we were ready, bro. We were ready, man.
Things just looked to be clicking.
Yeah.
We just went.
We did implement a little scout on them.
Oh,
we
yeah.
Watch a lot of tape on them, and we were tired of losing. And we saw that we could match up well with them, and we knew they didn't. They had match-up issues on their side.
Yeah.
Right.
So normally it's like, okay, we've got to figure out how to guard Daryl Nelson Henry, who's 6'11" and weighs 100 kilograms. We've got to figure out how to keep him out of the paint. All right, But now they've got to figure out how to guard us. And Loughborough didn't have enough size to cause us so much problems on the defense where we couldn't exploit them on offense. No disrespect to Loughborough, but they had a guy who was 7 foot and then he didn't show up. So thank God, you know. And they have a really good player called Victor. I don't want to butcher his name, Nduku, who's going to be an SLB player really soon, and he's their leading scorer. But he plays in a way that we like. We will guard that. We will cover that. Then you go to Essex where they made 16 threes in a half, and then it's like you're not going to win. And then you play against Birmingham, same situation. We know it's a big game. We don't think that they can stay with us in transition. We can run against them, where we can play more organised than them. They're going through some of the same growing pains that we're going through. Talented group, gold medalists on their team. You know what I mean? Super talented. Charles Smith, I mentioned it before. In my top 5 of best players ever to play in this country is the coach. so it's one of those things. Like, but we still felt like proper positive against them. You know? And guys had a hell of a game, you know. Elijah played incredibly, so it was a great thing. Yeah, and then the last one we saw was Nottingham. Who's their point guard? Who's so quick? Oh, Murdoch Jr. Yeah, he was. I'm gonna say I think we're not gonna like. I don't want to touch Wordy's back, but I think he solidified himself as one of the best players in this country. Yeah, he was outrageous. Has he? Whoa. Yeah, really. Yeah. Blimey. He was. I mean, we've only seen him once, so you can't say he's always going to be that good. But he was. No, he's like, that good. Whoa. Yeah, he's that good. I watched him the games before. He's ridiculous. Right. Yeah. And I told everyone, I was like, this dude is ridiculous. Like, he's insane. A lot of good players on that team. They got Talaferro. He's been injured. Right. American Italian guy, really good player. They've got Sturridge. Big guy, really good. They got Kane King coming off the bench, one of my best friends. Right. I should have bought his jersey. I had his jersey somewhere in the house. I should have bought it. But they're really good. Yeah, proud of them. Proud of everything they do over there in London. You know. Yeah, it was good. It was good seeing the kind of, because it's obviously nice seeing Thunder winning, obviously a local team and stuff. I would love to show out, but then it's nice seeing the other teams, because we don't really get to much access, because it's not like we can just go on TV and watch it and stuff like that. And they're trying. They've got YouTube channels. Check your YouTube. Follow Hoop Genes first, and then follow everyone else after. But like, that's the problem. Yeah. Like, that's the issue. Like, trying to get the space to do this kind of stuff, and it will get better because the algorithm has to fix. You know, we have to pray for some sort of algorithm to fix, but that's like, I'd love to go to watch Hemel one day. I think it's one of the best places to watch basketball. Worthing Thunder is the best place to watch basketball in the country, in my opinion. Yeah. But in the same breath, I'm biased. So go and see other places, you know, and like, the only team that has the super duper marketing is London Lions. Yeah, of course. You go into like Westfield and there's a picture of Ovi. Obviously, they're using the geezer that was in Love Island. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? And like, big up Ovi, I love you, bro. They're using him, and obviously they got a packed house sometimes on a Tuesday night. Yeah. Well, we went up there, didn't we, and watched them against Glasgow. Caledonia, they smoked them, right? Absolutely, different. Caledonia's having a time of it, boys. The women's team seems to be doing really, really well. They're quality, but both teams are quality, but they're having a time of it with their imports, man. Yeah, there's a lot of changes. And then a lot of coaching changes. I don't know what happened with Gareth. I thought that was a big mistake. And Gareth was quintessential, right, to them. Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah. So it's like, I understand they wanted what they're trying to do, but sometimes it's the roots. Culture, like Scotland's about culture. You know what I mean? Facts, it's about pride, you know. Yeah. And creating that unity. Yeah, exactly, bro. And it's the uniqueness of it. You can't just implement someone there. You've got to build that. And Gareth had it, you know what I mean? He grew his beard, like he looked like How to Train a Dragon, you know. Yeah. So it's I love Caledonia. They got some good pieces over there though. They got some talent over there. Yeah, 100%. Gorgeous arena. Yeah. Is this the one they haven't completely building yet? No, they've got 2, but they've had luck. Like, they used to play in a place that had a car boot sale outside of it called Kelvin Hall. Right. But the basketball court was huge. It looks like an arena. But to get to the changing room, you see a big warehouse full of people doing just car boot sales. But it was a lit arena. You love playing there.
Yeah.
Then they moved to some next big ass arena, and then they moved to their own arena. And they're like, how do you get so lucky?
Someone's put out for them, and
Someone's
surely
them out. Someone's loving them off, boy. How do you get so lucky? I remember they played in, was it the Emirates Arena? And they were sponsored by Hovis. I couldn't believe that gym. I know Hovis is a big ass sponsor, bro.
Major. People thinking Hovis, why is that best? Like Hovis has got money.
Bro, £1.55 for a loaf of bread. They better have some bread money, bro. No, you can't even use your club card to get some Hovis. That's it's wild. Nah, man. It's crazy.
So what's the plan for like next season? Obviously you were saying before, body feels quite good for it. You take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Year 17.
Year 17.
Have I got year 17 in me? I don't know.
No?
I don't know. It's not about me, innit?
Yeah.
Like, as a basketball player, it's never just been about me. I know, we're talking about me, but I love I want Thunder to thrive. And that's why I put the jersey on.
Yeah.
And if it's not making Thunder thrive, will I put the jersey on? I don't know.
Fair.
For the love of the game, I'll put the jersey on when I'm 48,
when
I'm 68. But if it's not going to help my team, I want to help my team. And I that's why I came to Thunder, to win trophies. And I want to win trophies. Yeah. I don't want to fight for relegation. I don't want to do that. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm doing my routine. I'm shooting. I'm lifting weights. You know what I mean? I'm getting stronger, getting better mentally. But I don't know. Me and Z talk daily as well.
Right.
So, but I don't know. But we talk about people that we want to bring, like we think should come in and like stuff like that. It's fun. But like I just want to be ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love talking about my career. I love my career. I love my career so far. And I think I've been very lucky. But I love Thunder. Like I love it.
You got to give yourself props though. It's not just luck, because you were saying even when you came over back from Vegas, you were emailing out, you were sending tips. Like you've got to be hungry for it. You can't. But it comes back to you can have the talent and you can have the ethic. If you've got them both together, you can do major bits with it, can't you?
100%.
There's no point sitting about I want to do this, but I'm not doing anything about it. It's just like
100%. 100%. I think I could instill a culture there, and I think that's what my role would be, But I think also, talent-wise, I want like young people to have opportunity, and like I think that's important for the league,
Yeah.
And I want Thunder. I want to see what Thunder do. I think we're ready to be back where we need to be. I just think it needs to be structured the right way.
Right.
Like we don't lose no crowds. We got the best crowd. We got some really good sponsors. Like I love our kit. I don't know, like our kit's amazing.
There's some rough kits in the league.
There's some rough kits,
a good
man.
one. Yeah.
Like no disrespect to Hemel, that's the only thing. That orange kit that they got.
What kind of orange? Well, like orange, or like orange, like light orange kind of thing.
I'm trying to think. It's a little bit darker than like. It's just the way it's just super industrial, man. It looks like your school kit. You know when you played in school, you used to get buckets in the ugly joint. No disrespect, it's ugly. In the ugly kit, but I want to see them do. That's the one thing about Thunder that no one else could say nothing. We did the sickest kits. We had like Black Lives Matter. We had the breast cancer, 3 editions of the breast cancer kit. We had an anti-bullying kit. We had mental health. We've done some of the sickest jerseys. Yeah.
There's one I saw a picture of. I think it was white, but it had, I think either Worthing here and Thunder here.
Yeah.
That was naughty.
No, there's some naughty kit. I got the shorts still.
Have you?
Yeah. I work out in them. Every year someone's like, yo, let's swap. I want your shorts. And I'm always like, yeah, I got you. And I forget.
Yeah, 100%.
Guess what? It's staying in my crib. Zaire designed that.
Oh, did he?
He did. He designed that.
That was a naughty little kid.
But he needs to get credit for designing the ugly kits that we got. The anti-bullying, they were ugly as hell.
Oh, was
Dude, they were ugly as hell. I'm telling you, bro. And the thing is, they were super ugly. And like on the back of it was the name you got called as a kid.
All right.
So he had Chips Ahoy because he chipped his tooth. I had rubber lips because I had big lips. Someone had dome head. I think because he's but
don't get that wrong. Yeah.
No, I was like, that makes sense. And now I know why you got dreads. You covering it up. But the kit was butters. It was like army fatigue, but he loved it.
Yeah,
he's one of them ones though. He's from New York. He loves army fatigue and Tim's
of course, mate.
Like, I wasn't. But that's one thing we didn't for the league. We've had the best kits. No one could ever come near us ever. Yeah, I truly believe that. Barring Brighton Bears, not when they had Rodman, the year before they had Rodman, they had a nice ass kit. But we had
the dark blue.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah, that was good.
So you was around during the Rodman times?
Yeah.
Some of the stories are wild. He used to come in a limo. He used to come to games in a limo.
Yeah, the first one, which was at Burgess Hill, he was like an hour late.
No.
So the game didn't start. Everyone was just waiting for him. Everyone was there just to see him.
I heard the league fined Nick Nurse something crazy because it was after the deadline. Because I remember he was in the Celebrity Big Brother house.
Yeah, he was in there for a couple of weeks.
He was in the Celebrity Big Brother house causing being a nuisance.
Yeah.
It was him and Pamela Anderson, I think, or Jodie Marsh.
Jodie Marsh, wasn't it? It was Marsh. I'm pretty sure it was Jodie Marsh.
It was
just
Jodie Marsh.
I mean, it's like a different Carmen Electra, do you know what I mean? Like, he's got history. And you're locking him in a house.
That's what I'm saying. And I think he was literally climbing the walls as well.
Yeah.
So for him to come out and play basketball, I knew he was going to be an hour late. He was 2 days late for practice for the Bulls. You thought he was going to go?
Yes, crazy times.
But I'm surprised it was only an hour.
Yeah, Nick didn't care. And Nick played his whole team plus Rodman, so Bears were breaking all the rules. Who they could have, but he didn't care.
All the rules. But don't worry, because I watched the game where he had a bunch of rebounds, but he didn't play no offense.
Yeah.
He just threw the ball down there and waited. And then Perry Lawson would score and he'd be like,
yeah, that was
good
crazy times. Yeah.
Good times, man.
Yeah.
So for, obviously, still undecided about Worthing, but after you thought about things like after basketball, like with coaching, ways maybe potentially to see how the game grows, or is it just kind of at the moment just take it as it is?
I'd love to coach at a high level.
Yeah.
I'd love to do something. I'd love to have it more structured. I'd love to coach more NBA players or more prospective NBA players. I want to have proper good clients, stuff like that.
So there's individual player development. Is it you're more interested at than team coaching?
Not more. I love it though.
Yeah.
I love seeing people grow. Like, I love the attention to detail. I love the fact that you can be your own person and you're not molding the person into a player. You're molding the person into more of what they are.
Yeah.
I love that, bro. Yeah. I love that. As a team, I'd love to coach a team as well. Maybe. I think the politics and the budget gets in the way a lot.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like, you coach because you're passionate for it, 100%. But do you have the energy for the other stuff?
For all the nonsense that goes with it.
This guy, we want to get him. He wants £100 more. Oh, this guy, we had to carry him. Like, you got to deal. And don't get me wrong, man. I'm a basketball player. I've had to carry some of my teammates out of clubs, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Happened.
And the game's tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't go out days before games. I used to get phone calls like, yo, my man's in here. Come get him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my early career. Like, guys that go out the night before games, guys that would go out the night before practice, I never understood. But it happens.
Of course it does, yeah.
And they're used to it. And you go and you can't stop it. If you try to stop it, it only gets worse.
Yeah.
When I lived in Germany, if you're not Alex Ferguson, who would come up to you, tap you on the shoulder, goes, how was your night last night, Rio? You know what I mean?
Or go up in the club and be like, no.
What we doing? Boys. And that's for practice.
Yeah.
You've got practice tomorrow. Or you're injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
dudes were literally, because they gave it to, it wasn't the club's fault. Because I didn't drink until, I didn't start drinking until 27. So, but they give you a VIP card, you just walk and wave it, show your ID and you're upstairs. You're not waiting in line, you're not doing all this stuff. And these guys, like, they're here to play basketball and that's it. So imagine your days. Your days are like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes, bro, that's the part I don't want to deal with as a coach.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for coaches that got that inflicted on them as you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And I don't want to do. That's one part of it that's problematic.
Right.
And getting everyone to be on the same page and understand we're here for you. Because a lot of this basketball stuff, when you're not getting paid like Sam Decker money, it's about the next thing and the next stepping stone and next stepping stone. And I like the fact that we're wherever we are, where we can provide like a stepping stone for people to play at higher levels.
Yeah. And you've got to, that's got to be the role of teams like Worthing. You have to be able to provide an opportunity to players who are going to commit to playing for you for no riches.
Well, money, you're playing from check, you're living from check to check.
Yeah.
And if you're really, 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 really good with money, you can save a bit and take advantage of what the club gives you.
Yeah.
But you are trying to go to them clubs that pay you 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month. You are that, and you do believe in yourself at that level.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
And no basketball player can say that they don't. I've had like agents come up to me and say, "Who's this guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that is so and so. He plays here. He's like, "Why is he telling me that he's ready to play here when he wants this money?" I'm like, "Oh, sometimes we can be a bit delusional." Like, come on, bro. He's like, "Does he know he's 6'4" and he plays the 5?" I'm like, he knows.
I love it. Yeah, you have to switch up the voices. We have to go softy. Like, oh, look, sorry, look,
bro,
it's one of them things.
He's like, is this going to be like everywhere in England? I'm like, it's not going to be everywhere. Nuno, I promise you, it's not going to be everywhere in England. Like, my boy Nuno Pedroso, he texted me about that. I remember he was a teammate of mine and then he became an agent, a big time agent.
Okay.
You know, but the agency now, it's all about the youth players. They're looking. We don't have. We need that. You know, we need it.
You're saying because it just seems with a bit of nurturing in the UK. The amount of talent of just natural athletes we have here, it could be something so special. I mean, there's enough players now who are playing in college in America, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's obviously,
but they're making so much money in college, it don't even matter.
Yeah.
The nil deals, bro. They're making so much money.
Unbelievable amount of money.
They're making so much money, bro. I don't even want to watch people's pockets, but they're making life-changing amounts of money.
Literally.
It's great as well. I'm happy for everyone. I think it's the most important. But when you didn't make them the priority, when you didn't make British players the priority, when you prioritised money or you prioritised your ego or you prioritised whatever it was to be successful, you didn't prioritise the players. When they leave, you can't be mad.
No.
Like I never understood why some of these guys, I used to listen to them on podcasts, how bitter they was about people not wanting to play here. Oh, everyone wants to go to America and play in America. Yeah, because that's where you're getting the Americans from.
Yeah.
You're getting them from college. And you're paying them this amount of money. I had to fight to get paid. Do you know what I mean? And I appreciate that. But I also appreciate the fact that if I went to college, I wouldn't have had to.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I went to college, some guy gave me a card at the last day of my thing. He was an agent. I contacted him and he spoke to you instead of me. And that's why I got paid for it. That's what I got paid for. Do you know Miles Hessen? Miles Hessen is one of our standout GB players. And some of the offers he got before he went to play in Germany were downright disrespectful. And I remember him being like, what are these men talking about? And then he went to Germany the next year. Then he went to play in Japan. And he won a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's just like, he's one of the best players to ever play here. And like his last kind of thought of what was going on here was a negative one. So what do you think he's going to tell the next guy who's one of the best players?
Yeah.
The next guy and the next guy. You know? And then you get this like hierarchy of players in a spot, and it's not actually, when they play against each other, you don't feel the separation is that far. You feel it's basically about some of the decisions that have been made. You know? So that's just one of those things.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We've run out of time.
Yeah.
We hope that you're back for season 17 next year.
Oh man,
yeah, 100%,
season 17
mate.
sounds wild.
You're a fantastic ambassador for the Thunder.
Thank you,
and
man.
it's great to see the energy you bring to the team and to the fans. It doesn't go unnoticed. So
no, not at all.
That.
And also, man, like, need to get you back on the pod again in the future because
sure,
there's so much, man.
I hate talking about myself though. That's why I keep on mentioning people. I want to talk about like the history of that. We could chop it up. We could chop it up about things you saw, bro. This is amazing, by the way. You guys, you three man are just the best, bro. I'm so like, this is what we need. I'm so like, you guys should be really proud of yourselves, and this is only gonna grow, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Well,
no, I do really appreciate that.
Yeah, and thanks again for your time.
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you for watching Hoop Jeans. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Don't forget to follow, like, share, subscribe. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and our website is hoopjeans.com. Until next time.
Peace out.